Boeing had a little hard time, as you heard. So they're going to save. Leon's going to send up a rocket. He looks forward to it. That's all he thinks about is things like that.
It's all he thinks about, Leon. He thinks about rockets. He doesn't even think about his own name. I mean, I for sure don't.
Leon.
That is Donald Trump talking about his massive ally, Elon Musk. Elon, who notably is just about the only Elon you hear about. It's a really distinctive name in popular parlance and politics. He called him Leon. And I just hope that Leon heard that, because all Leon wants is to feel special and liked and talented. And he's got all this money, and he bought companies where talented people make things, and he can't even get Donald Trump, who he just did like a 2-hour interview with, to remember his damn name. But Leon, don't take it too personally. I don't think this is a sign of disrespect. I think this is a sign that Donald Trump has drier lint for brains at this point. Like, he can barely keep a thought together. And he seems to understand that as well as we do, because he's rolling out new excuses for the brain rot. Take a listen to this.
And then the press, when I say Dr. Hannibal Lecter, the press says, oh, why did he mention that? They're wise guys back there, just wise guys. They say he rambled and started talking about Hannibal Lecter. What does that have to do? That's a representative of people that are coming into our country. Dr. Hannibal Lecter, he will have you for dinner. You know that? He will have you for dinner. You know, I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things, and they all come back brilliantly together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
The weave.
I do the weave. Look, dude, we know your hair is not natural, but I have friends who are English professors, and I've read Chaucer, I've read Shakespeare, but what you do, where you talk about electrocutions and sharks and Hannibal Lecter, no notes.
I do. He should have just said, I do prose. It's prose, stream of consciousness. Ever heard of Sylvia Plath?
If anything. So this is Donald Trump, who realizes that he cannot maintain a coherent stream of consciousness. It's just insane. He's just constantly distracting himself. And he now calls that the weave, where in his mind, he takes like 10 things that are seemingly disparate, and then at the end, they all come back together perfectly. No, you're thinking of a Seinfeld episode, dude. That's not your speeches. That's not how it works. They don't go together. It doesn't, and like, you're not using it as an example of anything. Here it is. If you're a MAGA person, I want you to accept what might be difficult to accept. Donald Trump does the Hannibal Lecter thing because he likes pointing to the crowd and saying, he'll have you for dinner. That's it. There is nothing deeper. There's no deep rhetorical whatever. He just thinks that's funny. And so he has made every one of his speeches over the last 6 months, including his address to the RNC, include that stupid line, because he is the literal equivalent of an 8-year-old boy going up to a stranger and saying skibbity. He just has it in his brain and he has to get it out, and that's all it is. It's not a weave, it's not beautiful. Your brain is rotting in your skull, man. And more people are acknowledging it lately. Trump biographer says this: the reason he's now offering these convoluted explanations of his speech patterns in his public appearances is because he's hyper aware that people have noted that he's making even less sense than he used to. What we're seeing now is a reflection of someone who's very troubled and very desperate. It's certainly doing more harm than good right now because he no longer has the foil of Joe Biden to bounce off of. Biden had become so visibly diminished and the media was more ready to take Biden to task on it on a regular basis. That allowed Trump to skate by. Now that he has a different, younger, more acute and vibrant political opponent, I think it does for him because he now often looks ridiculous or unhinged, unfocused, or very, very old. And that's what it is. And look, weird comments are popping up more and more often. I'm gonna play one for you. And I don't know if this is brain rot or if this is just his inability to take responsibility for anything he's done, but take a look at this.
I never met the woman other than this picture, which could have been AI generated. I don't know. Showed up out of nowhere, but it's fine. Nice picture with her husband, and lots of other people are online. It's a celebrity line. But never met her, never touched her, never had anything to do with her. The other thing is I was very famous then. If I would have walked into Bergdorf Goodman, the department store that she said, everybody would have said, oh, there's Trump. And it would have been, at that time, on page 6. Page 6 was the equivalent of today's internet.
Thank you, Grandpa, for that stroll down memory lane. But that's the weird part. The insane part is it's this photo. So this is Donald Trump in front of his lawyers at the same press conference where he said that he was really disappointed in them. And I totally understand why he would be. Alina Habba is one of them. He said that photo, which has been around for literally ever, could have been AI generated. It would probably have to have been the first thing that was ever AI generated because it precedes generative AI by decades. Like, again, does he think that that's a good excuse? Or does he just think that his fans are so stupid that they will just accept that this was AI generated many, 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 many years before AI was a thing? I don't know. I don't know if it's crazy. I don't know if it's dishonest. I don't know if it's brain rot. Maybe it's all three. I don't know. Any other thoughts?
I don't know why he even did this press conference. Every time he speaks, he just offers, first of all, he defames E. Jean Carroll over and over and over again. You've lost this case now twice. What are you doing? What are you doing, my guy? Like, shut up. And Alina Habba's right behind him being like, yes, that's my president. Like, you're never getting paid, honey. You're never getting paid. Like, there's no more money here. And so, yeah, it's massive brain rot. He's always had brain rot. And I do think he needs to maybe take a page out of Joe Biden's book and say less, do less, just kind of squirrel away for a bit.
Yeah, I think that it would really help him. Unfortunately, he loves the limelight, and it doesn't just hurt him in the election. As you said, like that press conference could be the basis of another defamation lawsuit that he already lost when he was found to have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll, which it's the sort of thing that I hope comes up in the debate. Not enough people talk about that. Seems like it would be an important part of election that he was found to have, like, owes $100 million for sexually abusing a woman. But anyway, just the nonstop insanity. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?